What's up guys, Pidget here. Spark Inquisitor was part of the Divine challenge from last league. With Crucible league start around the corner, I made a starter version from it. Let's see what things we got on the damage side. Spark is a fast moving projectile that can collide with the terrain. Because of that, our clear speed highly depends on the projectile speed and the projectile duration. If you have high projectile speed, you can kill enemies off screen, shotgunning the bosses near the walls. Because of that, the real DPS hard to calculate. In the POE, UVC or DPS multiplied by 3, because we can safely tell a projectile can hit the same enemy 3 times before the projectile disappears. But I saw many cases where the people saying it can be 5 times, but I will stick to average. I let it 3, and if it's more, you will be just happy about it. And if it's not, there is no problem either. With Crucible, Spark got a little bit of nerf. It has now 25% less projectile speed. It's still super strong, so don't worry. The best possible multiplier for a spell build is to go low life and use Pain Attunement Keystone, which is giving more spell damage if we are on low life. Yes, even at league start it can be done without any issues. We are achieving this with a few things. We were using Petrified Blood. We can only recover 50% health, and the remaining 50% we can reserve with auras. Or auras that is reserving life is the following: Vitality, Clarity and Precision. Alone from these auras we get everything that the build needs: life and mana regen and crit. We can even squeeze in a damage aura, namely Wrath for more lightning damage. The build uses a few extra buttons for extra damage, so we have a rotation. When you start a bigger boss fight, put down Seal of Power, cast Sniper's Mark, and cast Tornado, and use your main skill, Spark. On basic mopping, you just using your main skill. On the defensive side, using Petrified Blood. When you take a hit, it will be stagger a percentage of the damage, and it will be dealt over for seconds to you. You can't recover above 50% health if you using this skill, but it will enable you to overleech, giving you extra life recovery option. We are achieving this with lightning damage which implicit on our gloves when you get to the Eldritch crafting. Using Determination and Molten Shell as our guard skill, and of course Wild Molten Shell for even more defense. Using a banner, namely Defiance banner for extra armor. If somehow you feeling you need more tankiness in your build, you can swap out the Wrath aura to Grace aura for evasion rating. It's up to you. Now, we almost can't be touched by physical attacks. Only danger left for us is the spell damage, but we have a solution for this. Using spell suppression from the tree, and we almost have 100% alone from the tree. We have 98% for to be exact. It's league start, so we can't stress our items with fancy stuff. I would like if you hit the like button like the Shaper hitting the Elder, so it can start spread to more people. Thank you. Because this league start, we can't have big items in the first day of the league. That's why we have very basic items in the list here. I want to mention one item. That not need at all, but if you can get one for yourself, that is Rotif Globe Unique Shield. According to POE Ninja, this shield was 7 Chaos Orb at the first day of the league, and it will give us almost 50% more damage. It's not mandatory, but it's really big upgrade to your build. The other very surprising thing, we will not use life mode on our body armor, because we got a new mastery which is giving us 15% maximum life if our body armor doesn't have life mode, so we can use energy shield and armor prefixes on our body armor. POB got updated with the new masteries, but still the life mastery don't work. So I put the custom mods under the configuration tab, the life mastery to simulate the new mastery. The other big changes for our tree, we got back the mana reservation mastery as mana mastery. This is why we are locating the dynamo and taking the mana mastery. 12% increase mana reservation efficiency of skills. We got arcane search changes. We will use it as a support gem because it gives us now cast speed. This is why I put extra cast speed in the custom modifiers to simulate the new arcane search. We were using a diamond flask with increased critical chance during flask effect and gain flash charge when we deal a critical strike. With this combo we will have permanent uptime because we will hit many times under a second, but when you get the Rotif shield you can swap out for Steep Knight flask for even more tankiness. Also, if you have mana problems at any stage in the game, you can just use a mana flask with Enduring mod, so you can just cast your spells freely, but I don't think you will need it because we using clarity for mana regen. Pantheons we using is the following: Major, Soul of the Brine King, important to upgrade to avoid to being frozen and reduced effect of chill on you. Minor, Soul of Garukan, reducing the shock effect on you. Bandits, you can help Alira in the early stages, but later you can swap to kill all. I just want to highlight a few things on the passive tree. Your main goal is in the early leveling, take Retribution, grab Light of Divinity, Holy Dominion. Start moving towards Dynamo and take the Mana Mastery here. You can grab Combat Stamina if you lacking HP, but don't take the Mastery till you have armor on every piece of gear, otherwise you will waste your point. Then take Shaper. After that, Ash, Frost and Storm. Duration Wheel, Duration Mastery, more skill effect duration. After this, you can start moving on the right side of the tree and start taking the nodes. But don't take Pain Attunement till you have the Life Regen node from Inquisitor, Ascendancy and you have the Petrified Blood. We taking Inquisitor as our Ascendancy. On your first lap, take Sanctuary. While you standing still, you have Concentrated Ground and the enemies will take increased damage. Second lap, Precious Path. Now Concentrated Ground will still active if you moving around. Third lab, Righteous Providence. You have increased critical chance per lowest strength or intelligence. Last lab, Inevitable Judgment. Your critical strike will ignore the enemy elemental resistance. Gem and Gemling, starting with our main link in our body armor, Spark, Spell Echo, Inspiration, increase critical strike, Pierce, and increase critical damage. Our aura setup in our weapon, we using 3 auras here, Determination, Wrath, Petrified Blood. You can swap out the Wrath to Grace if you want to be more tanky. Or other auras in our boots, Vitality, Precision, Clarity, and we linking Arrogance for this free skill. And with this combination, these auras will reserve life instead of mana. Our secondary source of damage and damage increase, Silgigal of Power, Tornado, Power Charge on Critical Strike, and Sniper's Mark. This is our curse skill. Our move and skill setup and cast when damage taken setup, Molten Shell, level 10, cast when damage taken level 2, Flame Dash, and Arcane Surge, level 8. In our shield, Frost Shield, this is an extra layer of defenses and we're using a banner, Defiance banner for the increased armor and evasion rating if you using Grace. I hope you enjoyed this video about Spark Inquisitor. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, I was Puget, see you next time guys!